It's a feeling we all crave, the moment you walk into a house and feel like you found your place in the world. After months of house hunting, I finally found it. My dream home. A beautiful, secluded house perched on a cliff, overlooking the vast, serene ocean. No one could interrupt my peace here. No HOA rules, no nosy neighbors, just a freedom I had always wanted. The moment I signed those papers, I knew I was about to start a new chapter in my life. I could already imagine the quiet evenings, the fresh ocean breeze, and most importantly, the independence of living in a property that I could truly call my own. No restrictions. No one telling me how to live. It was everything I dreamed of. But here's the thing. This was my escape. It was everything I'd wanted in a home. But little did I know, it would quickly become the beginning of a nightmare. If you've ever dreamed of freedom from the rules of a homeowners association, you know how exhilarating that feeling can be. But imagine, after months of planning and waiting for that perfect moment, you get a letter in the mail that could change everything. That was my reality. And the next steps? You won't believe what came next. The process of buying a house is stressful enough. Inspections, appraisals, endless paperwork. But when you find the one, all of that fades into the background. My real estate agent was incredible, always keeping me in the loop and providing answers to every question I had. When I expressed concerns about any kind of HOA involvement, she assured me, again and again, that the property was not part of any such community. And, frankly, that was one of the key reasons I bought the house. I wanted to avoid all the drama that comes with an HOA. No one dictating when I could have a barbecue, or how tall my grass could grow, or what color I could paint my front door. Every conversation I had with the agent built my confidence. This was my moment. I was free. But what I didn't realize was that there was something lurking beneath the surface, a loophole, an outdated system that would soon come back to bite me. It's one of those things that you don't think about, right? You trust the experts, but sometimes that trust is shattered when reality doesn't align with the dream. If you're out there, looking for your dream house too, this is something you need to consider. Even the best real estate deal can have hidden pitfalls, and I found that out the hard way. And then it came, that dreaded letter. At first, I thought it was a mistake, a mix-up. Maybe it was for someone else. But no, it was addressed to me. A formal lawsuit from the Homeowners Association, accusing me of obstructing the ocean view of the other properties below mine. My dream home, the one that was supposed to be a peaceful escape, was now under legal attack. The letter claimed that my two-story house was somehow ruining the views of the people below me. How was that even possible? I had carefully chosen this place, convinced it was my perfect, unrestricted haven. The shock quickly turned to anger. I immediately contacted my real estate agent, who, like me, couldn't believe it. We were both confused. I had bought this property specifically because I wasn't a part of the HOA. I had done my due diligence. And now this? A lawsuit over something as ridiculous as blocking a view? It was infuriating. If you've ever faced a situation where you've been wronged, you know the feeling of disbelief. Your world just shifts, and you're forced to fight for something that shouldn't even be a battle. If you ever find yourself in this position, remember, it's important to take a step back and gather your thoughts before you act. But trust me, it's tough. I felt betrayed. By the system, by the real estate agent, and most of all, by myself for not seeing this coming. How could something like this even happen? My house was not part of the HOA community. I had been explicitly told that. And now, here I was, being accused of ruining someone's view. The HOA wasn't just upset. They were making it clear they were going to fight to have me removed, to force me to change my property. That's when I realized that this wasn't about property lines or views. It was about control. The HOA was using their power to try and dictate how I lived in my own home, and they were willing to drag me through the mud to do it. This was the moment I knew I had to fight back. This wasn't just about a house. It was about my right to live freely. If you find yourself facing something like this, don't back down. You have every right to stand firm, to defend your home and your personal freedom. It's your life, and it's worth fighting for. Don't let anyone push you around because they think they have more power. Take control. After a few days of investigating, my agent discovered something I had never expected: a loophole. It seemed that the land I had purchased was originally part of the HOA's jurisdiction before they sold it off to a different developer. Apparently, the HOA still had some residual authority over properties like mine, even though I wasn't technically a member. This wasn't about rules anymore. It was about outdated regulations that allowed them to interfere in ways I hadn't anticipated. I was dumbfounded. I'd been assured that the property wasn't part of their control, yet here I was, tangled in their web of red tape. This is something many people don't realize when buying property. Even if the property isn't part of the HOA, certain older properties might still be subject to their rules. It's a legal gray area that can cost you more than you'd expect. If you're buying property, always dig into the history of the land, not just the house itself. You can avoid these types of nasty surprises down the line. The fight had officially begun. I knew I wasn't going to give up without a battle. I hired a lawyer, and we started to piece together our defense. We knew the HOA had been aware of my plans to build a 2-story house from the beginning, and as we dug deeper, we discovered something shocking. The HOA had actually tried to purchase the land before I did. They didn't want anyone building on this lot, and when that failed, they decided to go after me instead. This is where the real fight started. It wasn't just about property or views. It was about power. The HOA didn't want anyone else to have what they thought was theirs. They saw my home as a threat, and they were willing to do anything to stop me. I knew I had to stand strong, and if you're ever in a battle like this, remember, it's not just about what's happening to you. It's about proving that you won't let anyone take what's rightfully yours. As we continued our investigation, we unearthed more shocking truths. Emails between HOA board members surfaced, showing that they were specifically targeting me. They had known about my plans, and instead of offering solutions or working with me, they were plotting ways to stop me from building. They had even called my new house a monstrosity and claimed it would ruin the community's charm. This wasn't about a view. It was about their vendetta. They didn't want anyone else to succeed in the way I had. The more we uncovered, the more it became clear. This was personal. If you're dealing with a situation where people are trying to sabotage your success out of spite or jealousy, don't back down. Expose them for who they are. The truth will always come to light, and that's the power you have. The day in court came, and I stood tall, ready to defend my rights. The judge listened to both sides, and when it was all said and done, we won. The lawsuit was dismissed. The HOA had no legal right to enforce any rules on my property, and what's more, the evidence we gathered showed that the HOA's actions were driven by malice. This was a huge victory, not just for me, but for anyone who's ever been wronged by a group or organization that thinks they have the power to control your life. Standing up for yourself can lead to amazing results. So, if you're facing a similar situation, trust that the truth in your resolve will get you through. Just when I thought the worst was behind me, the HOA didn't stop. They kept harassing me, trespassing on my property, and even messing with my sprinkler system. But this time, I was ready. I fought back with a countersuit for harassment, trespassing, and property damage. The HOA thought they could intimidate me, but they underestimated my resolve. We gathered even more evidence, and this time, they were on the defensive. It was clear they had no right to be doing what they were doing. The HOA ultimately settled out of court, paying me a massive fine for all the trouble they caused. Their president resigned in disgrace, and my property's value skyrocketed. Sometimes, victory isn't just about winning. It's about showing people that they can't push you around. If you stand your ground, the world will notice. And so, the story ends with me sitting back on my porch, enjoying the stunning ocean view I had fought so hard to protect. My beautiful home, free from the constraints of the HOA, was a sanctuary once again. The battle had been long and hard, but the peace I now had was worth every moment of it. I didn't let the HOA win. I didn't let them intimidate me. And if you're facing something similar, don't give up. Stand firm. Your home is your right. Your peace is priceless. Protect it. And remember, Sometimes the best revenge is living well. If you ever felt like your peace was being threatened, or you've been in a situation where someone tried to take control of your life, I want you to take a moment and reflect on this. You have the power to fight back. Don't let anyone or any organization bully you into submission. Stand your ground, just like I did. If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button, and if you want to hear more stories about standing up for what's right, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment below telling me about a time you fought for what you believe in. I'd love to hear your experiences and maybe even feature your story in the next video. Remember, you're not alone in this fight. Together, we can stand tall against any obstacle. Share this video with someone who needs a little reminder to keep going, because the best is yet to come. Stay strong, stay resilient, and I'll see you in the next one.